But yeah, the no window back off a little bit.
Certainly very delicate. Silgy again, making sure Stixxay's hanging out, pivoting around him here in the mid lane, but Turtle's actually come over as well. It's like, you know what, I like this mid lane free farm thing, I'll give it a go. As soon as he does teleport himself back to lane with the ultimate.
Doesn't want to miss any CS here to keep that small advantage that he has now.
Hooney forced up as well, so Hooney ready to brawl.
Oh, that is a pretty big break point. I don't know if I would want to set up a push gank against the just completed Trinity Force, but Darshan does.
Yeah, he's going to go try for it, but here's Rainover ruining his day. Darshan, he does have everything available. Can he get out?
Afro is also heading up there. Meanwhile, mid lane.
Oh my god, they're just going in for it. Who will he dive? He actually does get damage down, but not quite enough. Looks like Darshan also escaped with his splash, so everything's just fine.
So COG move all their resources up to collapse on top, and they make a move mid lane. That means that bottom lane, the split there from Pobelter, Vladimir, went all the way to the turret, and that is going to be some extra minions that do go down. He does not cut off Puhi on his way down to clean them up, so I think there will be inaction here as everybody just tries to stabilize and grab the minions.
Yeah, and that's what everybody's just trying to do right now. TP actually going to be used by Darshan to get back to the top side, just to keep this pressure up. That's why we keep seeing the TP from Shen back to the lane, so he can stand united elsewhere. It doesn't need that teleport, and then Hooney constantly uses his ultimate to get back, because if you let up any pressure, you give a free lane to the other person.
Ah, pressure everywhere! We need some heart rate monitors on the top laners. Because they are just, constantly fighting, waiting for the teleport opportunities. One of the most strenuous things that you have to use in a game is coordinating with the rest of your team. When do I use my teleport? Standing united, does it come in? Because it's such a valuable cooldown, and it can mean a very big swing in the game if you use it incorrectly.
Here comes Hooney.
$5 uses it. There he goes. Again, every single time he loses it that way.
Well, it looks like Drake could be the next thing. 10 seconds down, so Ocean Drake will spawn. Crap, this time goes over to a model, manages to secure some vision around it. You have to think they are going to move in for this objective, maybe fancy mid a bit more, so we'll see where the priority lies, but teams are positioned for a brawl here. Again, much like game 2, we're kind of building up to this fight. CLG have a slim lead, but that's just what it is, it's slim.
Yep, because both teams really matching each other here, switching AD carry support over to the mid lane, trying to clear out the waves. Vladimir answering the casted and split push, because bottom lane, very easy to get over to that Drake fight with Ghost. Don't need the teleport on Vladimir. And Pobelter looking to make another one of those big plays at the next Drake fight. It will be Ocean, so I don't know how hard they will commit to it. Remember, the fight is going to be more important than the Drake. Because if you win that big team fight in a big way, you can take all these standing turrets that are out there, get a lot more gold. Whereas a mid-game Ocean Drake at 18 minutes, not a huge swing. So be very cognizant of your positioning according to the fight that will come out, rather than trying to smite steal or sacrifice your life or do something like that.
Thanks, Professor. I'll keep that in mind. But yeah, I definitely think the Ocean Drake, not always worth fighting over. It's more the fight itself that people are trying to get. It's that kind of that point that everybody wants to be at.
Well, Vlad versus 2 should be okay for Pobelter. Maybe not actually. Hooney going in for it. Does get some good poke damage down. Pobelter not going to quite get that Crimson Rush empowered Q, but should heal up pretty quickly.
Yeah, just to assert dominance over the blue buff area for the Dragon for CLG. So just trying to push him out, get those pink wards on.
Pressure again, just starting to pile up everywhere. He's still going back in with the Pobelter, and he wants it a little more. He might be going to get forced out. Huhi looking nice. But we have a fight in our hands. Hooney going to TP in. Huhi now going to get stand united on Darshan. Going to try and cover it as Xmithie and Stixxay's ulti are cutting them off. Hooney will have caught out position in the front line, but he's relatively tanky. Xmithie flashed himself over to the wall, I think, or maybe he's on his way out. But Darshan a little too low. Hooney finally claims a victim. Ults himself out to safety, and Immortals going to surge forward. They take out Huhi right over. Makes the blade a flank too, and Pobelter straight forward. Immortals get a clean house here.
I tell you, the E not breaking on Sanguine Bull for Vladimir was one of the best things to ever happen to him. Huge follow-up there from Pobelter. Does burn both summoners, and Immortals gets the better of CLG in the Drake fight.
And it looks like a big part of that was, hold on.
Going in again, Xmithie trying to defend the red buff, maybe ill-advised.
Yeah, he does have smite as well.
Hooney wants it.
Oh, and he gets what he wants!
This guy sucks.
Unfortunate there for Xmithie. As like you said, Mortals did ignore the Drake. They just wanted the team fight and they won it handily.
Keep your eyes on the kills. I mean, this all started out, remember, Huhi was constantly on Pobelter, just poking the bear here. Keeps on aggressing into the jungle really deep. And they do have all the means to collapse, you know, Jin is going to pop the ultimate. They're a little bit spread out. And this is actually fortunate for CLG that they get that disengage. Hui flashes right before Gragas ultimate. So that's kind of a dream disengage. But then they go right back in. And it's a 4-on-5 because 6A is walking over and ult is timed out. Exactly. There's the tunnel there from Smithy, and they do collapse on Darshan.
And that looked like a little bit of a split mindset there because it looked like Huhi and Darshan wanted to turn it back around, and 6A was using a disengage type ultimate there. Because at that point, you'd really love it when these guys are pretty low and that you'd be able to get that execute damage off.
Keep seeing it from CLG. They've looked very clean in these fights as the models do get their cake and eat it too. Dragon going to go over to them as they pick up the Ocean. The models just really step things up after that game 1 loss. Looking very together here. Pobelta on the left looks wonderful. It's 2-0-3 right now. CLG, they're still doing their thing. The models is doing it a little bit better. Although the gold is dead even as I say that, so this game is still got a long way to go.
And to be honest, this is a very impressive showing from Counterlogic Gaming because everybody was expecting Immortals. You know, they took Cloud9 to 5 games. They were very powerful coming in, and CLG got swept by Team Solo Mid. Well, this game, neck and neck game 3, already took a game off of them. It's actually kind of uncharacteristic of CLG, and they might be up on an upswing here.
Yeah, I mean, CLG are the underdogs. They're used to being the underdogs, though, very often in their history, and still fighting here. Very close series, 1-1. Immortals definitely looking like they want this game, but look at that gold. Very even as far as they go. 1 Drake apiece. The thing is, kind of worried here about the end game. We'll see, though. A lot of vision wars going on right now. Okay, no. Every time they collapse here inside the jungle, I know, it's like, myself for the action because they're fighting over the blue buff.
Well, blue buff this time going to go over to Rainova.
Oh, Belter grabs it there with the tides.
Gives him a little bit extra, more AP.
He'll take it. Not too bad there. As Darshan and Huni still here. Cue the music at this point because they're running circles around each other. Darshan still getting ahead in a lot of these trades, but Huni, I think, has to spend some gold as well. So there's definitely a push and pull here. CLG going to keep fighting here and
push and pull and punch and kick and bite. These guys have been just all over it.
It's like Parappa the Rapper, man. Oh, man. Anyway. Dreamcast was great.
Getting stronger. And I think these turrets have been the big sore point. Immortals, this would be a very good break to get if they can knock down the mid turret. The map is still very closed and CLG dig their heels in and defend. But Afromu going to get himself poked out. Immortals, do they go for it?
Yeah, I mean, CLG are going back to the 1 round without the teleport available for Cassidy. So that's why Immortals pushing in on this turret. They have the pressure advantage. Now Huhi, though, after shoving the bottom lane, is heading up the mid.
Need to do something here. Immortals might even look to just dive and break it wide open.
And meanwhile, Huni's actually doing the blue buff right now, so they're at least getting something out of this for Immortals. And they just pushed Huhi outside.
Bit of a brute force there, but the 6A ultimate's going to try and clear the wave out, I think. Huni very threatening in the tower. Who's going to fall? He just goes for it. Huni phase dives onto it. Smithy is right over. Just a little short, gets the ulti down, but he won't quite connect for the rest of it. CLG can maybe turn it around. Rain over. Big mistake. Gets himself stunned under the turret.
Hui didn't go deep to the back line, though, because they're worried about the damage that Immortals could still put out. They do play it a bit safe there. They catch the 1 kill, they snared Rain over, and so they take that guaranteed small advantage, and it looks like they're trying to move it up towards the top side, but I think it might end at just that 1 kill. A little bit of an overstep on Rain over. He gets punished for missing that flash.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to actually back up Huni. Huni dove in, then Rainover's like, all right, it's actually tag teamed him out, while Turtle was trying to back. At the same time, he was right off the screen. He is sitting on like 2,000 gold.
It's one of those things, whenever you see Immortals play, I always think of this story, because you play with them in the ranked game, how their communication is almost all Rainover talking to Huni and like, slow down, take it slowly here, move it slowly, back away. And like the whole team is trying to catch up to Huni's, pace.
Well, it's pretty breakneck as Immortals do claim the very key structure in the center of the map, and despite the gold still sitting effectively even here, almost 25 minutes into this game, Immortals have key territory that they've now taken and will once again gear up for the next fight around the mountain break, where Immortals may look to win yet another spectacular team fight. But this is easily the closest of the 3 games we've seen so far. Everyone's just getting stronger. 6A with 2 items looking good. CLG feels like they haven't found as much pressure, but again, the teams are just learning each other as they play this series.
And then they can still find time to dance in mid lane. This game's got it all. All right, here we go, fighting over the tunnels, though. I mean, taking down the tunnel network is not really ever highlighted, but every little bit does count. You definitely want to at least clean up the ones that are around river and stuff. Oh, here we go though, more action.
Pobelter actually now 1v2. Can he get out of this one? Hui gonna dive himself forward. Big heal there from the ultimate, but Hui wants it! Chases him, but Pobelter just has too much healing.
Whoa, he flashed for that too.
Yeah.
Pobelter is gonna walk away from it and try and heal back up off the minion.
Smithy sticking around and trying to force him off that turret, and that goes to save Pobelter so many times on this Vladimir. And he just got pressure alleviated.
Yeah.
Walk back up.
Look at this. They're roaming Adrian. He's in the river, threatening to roam up to the top side. So CLG know they can't make this dive. And, they fight him off of the turret. So good job there by Immortals. They burned the Kassadin Flash, which is very big. One of those tools we talked about earlier, Pastry, getting the Shen even deeper into the back lines. That's one of the things that, they would like to use offensively.
Part of the issue as well is that you can see Pobelter just tanking everything because there is a notable lack of healing reduction at this stage. Morello's not yet there for Hui. Execution Strong will come somewhere to Dixie, but it's not exactly easy with the path they've chosen to get it early. And Pobelter just has free reign until that point hits, and maybe even when it hits, he can just take over because Kled is such a strong scaling champion.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who's going to have more damage dealt to champions because Darshan and Huni are going to have a lot. They're constantly trading each other back and forth and getting back lane and healing. But Kassadin also, Hui's been constantly just going straight to Pobelter's face. So the same story, they're just trading back and forth.
It's kind of that agreement, you want to pad our stats, 80 carries both had the same damage. We can do this as well. That's fine. But honestly, moving into the late game though, I'm really interested to see what ends up happening with the damage dealers on this team and the defensiveness, because CLG and Immortals both have compositions that you don't mind going late. You just look for these fights, and it's the setup that matters.
Yeah, right now 6A is peaking at the maximum flat armor penetration build, and he is ready to rip anyone who's out of position. Now, the good thing also about picking Ezreal into Jhin is that Ezreal does build some armor to kind of help with that and mitigate it a little bit with that Iceborne Gauntlet. This Drake, though, maybe will be the thing that does spark the next team fight. Smithy backing right now doesn't really signal anything because Rek'Sai ult is available. Could pop back out. Wards go down.
Teleports everywhere. Everyone's got theirs up, but I don't think CLG fancy a contest just yet. From he throws a chair in, looks for maybe a steal, but that's secured there for Immortal. CLG kind of gave up on that one.
Yeah, they've actually swapped up their allocation as far as split pushes go, too. Choosing to put Hui against
he's playing with
Hui
his monitor.
instead, and Darshan taking the Vladimir duty because Kassadin not really making any ground there in the 1v1.
Yeah, but this is also a 1v1 that it just goes back and forth as well. Honestly, Vladimir killing the Shen probably not going to happen, and Shen vice versa.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice there from CLG to switch that up because they weren't really gaining any momentum the other way around. Scuttle Crab there to go over to Smithy. I lied, I had not been tracking that. Do it. I'll say it's 17 to 12.
Ooh, that's a translator. See just how good you are, Professor. As Immortals still moving their ways up mid lane. Again, it's been such a delicate game these teams are playing in. Nobody wants to get themselves caught out in a silly spot. CLG are pretty firmly committed to a 1-3-1 here, and Immortals are doing their best to answer despite only one
out of my game
versus the 2 and the Shen ultimate. Huni going to get himself the blue buff. Immortals are certainly getting stronger, but Baron is probably our next point to look at now. We saw that the Scuttle Crab vision go down. Teams are likely going to move their way over and try and knock that down. But that's still like a million turrets up on this map.
Yeah.
So it's not really a whole lot of room to wiggle around.
Yeah, there's only 3 turrets gone. There's very little in terms of long lanes, and they're playing these long lanes appropriately, allocating their vision control to that side and usually keeping their jungler around that area. Because you can see right now, Huni having to actually back off a little bit because Smithy's there. But on the opposite side, Pobelter gets to push Hui in. So he's honestly trading these lanes and who gets to push in first. And it just goes back and forth.
Yeah, both of these teams fighting tooth and nail in match number 3 here, having the series tied up. And this does, it does mean a lot moving into the gauntlet, even if, neither of these teams count on what happens tomorrow. If they find themselves in the gauntlet, seeding there does matter as well. One less best of 5, they talked about it. Right now, though, heading over, vision control can earn you something. CLG, though, they do have vision.
TP from Hui and from Darshan. They're all coming in.
And Immortals play it safe to actually pull pretty firmly off that Baron. Smithy may be caught, gets ulti back by Reyna, but flashes out to safety and will tunnel back towards Aphromoo. That's going to keep him safe, but Darshan a little far in. Huni actually getting chunked out a bit by the ulti as Huni's going to chase him 1v1, but CLG still getting collapsed on here. Immortals looking for something.
Yeah, with two top laners there trying to kite the opponent team, and we have a merry-go-round. They find each other at the Raptors, though.
Maybe going in again. Well, Turtle actually DPS down, but Huni with a big amount of burst. Could threaten Snare, lands in, but it doesn't quite connect on the Huni. Good damage, but Immortals just kind of slowly creeping their way forward. They're a little too tanky for CLG, I think.
Yeah, and they've got that sustain. Pobelter on the front lines on Vladimir, continually soaking and healing back up.
And Huni just went back, got home guard, ultied in. So now they continue their siege.
The never-ending siege perhaps there as Immortals. Pobelter again just going to soak damage out from the Jhin. CLG just can't seem to get in at all.
Well, they don't have wave clear. That weakness that we highlighted before and is so constant with the Kassadin, yes, Counter Logic Gaming, they have kill potential and chase down potential. It has to come from an all-in confrontation, though. You can't just wave clear at a turret, and Immortals keep it up. They've got the Vladimir sustain and that ultimate from Huni that you mentioned, Irene, getting right back in there with the home guard.
This composition ends up getting a Baron buff on Immortal's side. CLG, it's so difficult to clear these waves normally, let alone have that on top of it, and they want them 1-3-1 sometimes on Immortals.
Oh, he's playing with his
lose a
monitor.
whole lot off of that. More than you normally would with somebody like a Sivir on your team.
Additional pressure though still mounting as Huni, I think he's been in a side lane. I mean, with Darshan, to be fair, pretty much for the duration of this game. Very rarely these teams grouping up, and it does feel like CLG, despite the gold lead not being particularly significant, the Immortals just have maybe a bit better of a plan or composition moving towards this late stage of the game. Yes, they can break it open, but CLG have pacified a little bit moving into this section of the game, and Immortals seem to be happy to play a little more patiently, which is a scary thing versus a team that usually plays so fast and so aggressive.
Recognizing their win conditions right now, Pobelter needs to get up to a point where he's pretty much unstoppable. And then Huni, though he does have a little bit of an advantage, but I still think that he really wants to hit that item break point, get to a Titanic Hydra, have a way to get the back line and blow them up, because he's been on Stixxay and Huhi duty pretty much all game long, keep a damage dealer occupied.
Also, it's interesting if we look at both lineups. The Immortals lineup, the damage is spread out a little bit more evenly, where they have a top laner, Huni's built some damage as well, and a lot of defense is being built on Turtle. So Turtle's building, to survive with this Ezreal, whereas CLG, it's pretty much pure damage from Stixxay and pure defense from Darshan on the Shen, because there's no way that Shen is going to be able to match up with the late game damage of Echo there. Even though pass through on the Shen go unnoticed by a lot of tanks.
Make no mistake, I think a successful fight for CLG is when Pobelter dies, and he's so impossible to kill. Although Stixxay does now have the calling, so we'll cut through some of that. It's curious to think what a winning team fight for CLG might look like, but they're happy to play the split push game, and maybe that's what they have to do here.
Fuck you, kid.
It probably looks like Stixxay has his IE completed and he's critting Wild Turtle out of a fight or getting a really good ultimate pick off Pobelter, because he does get quite low.
Very well could be. Also could look like a side lane victory. Both these teams are built well equipped to do the 1-3-1 and do the split push, and whoever does get the first side lane advantage can then try and transition that into objectives afterwards. But man, this game bouncing very, very precariously.
We were talking about how this matters a lot right before the Baron was on the table for Immortals. Immortals, difference between 1 best-of-5 or 2 best-of-5s. If they lose this match, they're guaranteed to play a team, or have to play a team if they want to get to Worlds, that has already beaten them, whether it's Cloud9 or CLG.
Well, Huhi does get a tower down finally. Baron, a little bit of a threat, but that next Drake's going to go over to Immortals. And then Elder Dragon will be on the table, and we're pretty late into this game. These big objectives starting to matter a whole lot.
Yeah, and both teams starting to run a little bit thin on vision. Immortals run very quickly up off the Dragon to make sure that nothing's on the Baron. And there's another ring around the Rosie. Here's turn 2 as Huhi finds Pobelter.
I mean, it's actually doing decent damage now. Lich's been helping out. I was going to say in the Huhi Darshan matchup, I didn't expect something to happen, and then it did, and I kind of learnt my lesson. For a while there, Huhi and Pobelter meeting, I was just like, I'm not even going to watch it anymore, because they weren't killing each other. But Huhi is actually stacking up damage.
Yeah, Kassadin almost level 18 gets really scary for any members, even frontline members. But honestly, even with a Hex Drinker on Wild Turtle and being Ezreal, still going to have to watch out for that Cassidy side because he's got partners and he's going to have cover fire from Stixay.
Yeah, and if he gets those last 2 items today, incredibly powerful. And yeah, Belter have a much harder time staying alive. If you get him to half HP, Stixay might be able to take care of the rest. That's Vladimir, which has been so hard to do.
That's
35 minutes into the game, and we are only maybe 200 gold apart for these two teams. Is going to come down to that in-game play. Here we go, set up on the Drake once again. They do have a CLG ward, but I doubt they'll get anyone over there because most of the team is in the fountain.
I mean, if CLG have demonstrated anything this particular game, it's that they are more than happy to play patient here. They trust in their team play, but I think Draw Immortals do as well. And there's the Drake, Elder Dragon now on the table.
And these moments in this game where it's so even and both teams are kind of playing around each other and answering each other's moves, you're just waiting for that one breakpoint because this matters for momentum in the series and putting them on match point.
Belter!
Here's that side lane we talked about for the advantage. Hui, though, gets collapsed on.
Hui, the Sonya's baits there. Reignover going to turn around and Huni collapses. Immortals this time. Beat them to the 5-man.
You could tell he knew that it was time to pull off, and he started to back away, but a good little bait there. As Belter just hung his leg out. Hey, you sure you don't want to finish me? And Hui actually takes the bait. Reignover comes in for the collapse, and they get the advantage. Now, can they turn it into something on Baron?
Exactly, and that's just over-eagerness there from Hui. He wanted something to happen, and that's the point in the game. It's so stressful. You want to be the hero, but you also don't want to be the person who puts your team behind, and it ended up being his team had Belter's back.
Immortals pull off the Baron. No threat just yet. They can keep going. I think they did keep the health down.
Yeah, Vladimir can tank Baron pretty easily and heal back up.
Yeah, they want to stall for Hui because he has TP. If they're able to keep this up,
10 seconds away, it's not enough.
50's in the pit.
They have to do it. Stixay critting everybody away. This Baron is so low. They're just going to stand here and fight.
Smithy's so low.
Doing a lot of damage. It's going to get it. It is Gragas. Reignover takes the Baron and Immortal. Weather the storm and are able to keep moving in. Darshan here is on. Here comes Hui. He must save the day here. And he goes in. Looks for Adrian. Doesn't find him. Belter still taking there on the front line as Darshan dives into the back. Hui does pop the Zonias in. And he's trying so desperately. Does get totally. Needs to survive. Dies there to Reignover after Rube walks away. Darshan is going to lose the GA. And Stixay has barely limped away. I spoke too soon.
Can he do this?
They're going to change him. Actually, Stixay.
He's got a crit. He's got a crit.
Darshan actually still pretty big. Belter needs to die. But Darshan gets him in 6. They just can't make his way back in.
Ooh, we're going to need to see that fight from the very beginning again. Because it's hard to see the trades going on in the back of Baron pit with 8 people, I think, behind Baron right there. Spike's hitting everyone, and Immortals do come out with the victory.
And it's amazing here as well because Immortals all pull off of it and damage Smithy because he comes in and look at his HP. He's full. And then they stop DPS. Baron at 2,600. Now all on Smithy. Look at how low he gets. He is almost dead right now. And now the CLG saying burn it. Almost in smite range there. And he goes down right before.
Meanwhile, Belter was zoning the outside here with Stixay. Stand United comes in, and they're able to chunk down Huni. Don't get that last auto for the Braum stun. Would have been Huni's death, disallowing him from using his ultimate. But he gets it off. Then Hui goes to the other back line, takes out Turtle, and sacrifices his life. Right here, I was questioning if Stixay was going to stick around after he kills Reignover.
Reloading.
Helps Darshan, but he is reloading.
Yeah.
And gives up on Darshan. Yeah, probably best decision to get out of there.
Yeah.
Very, very close. And CLG do have to deal with a Baroned up Immortals team now.
Yeah, he was reloading and then he wanted to just hit the minions 3 times and have that crit come back in. But by the time that happened, Darshan was able to outlast.
Can't get too close to Vladimir because Tides of Blood was already charging. Meanwhile, extra bonus here for Immortals. They get to use this Baron buff to take down some extra turrets and increase that gold.
Yeah, meanwhile, on top of that, Nafuki is pushing up there, and that's going to be Immortals wrecking through the base. Talk about how when they get a Baron, though, it takes so much.
Yeah, if it's too much damage, they're going to move into the inhibitor to be able to take it. Hui's back now, but that inhib's already dead.
Yeah, he doesn't have teleport anymore because he just used that in the re-engage at the Baron, so no way he can get back to try and clear this wave. CLG lose the inhibitor.
Oh my god, Turtle safe there from the shields. Immortals make sure to defend their own. They'll back away safely as CLG. But I feel like they're a little too far behind now. Immortals just needed one fight. 6A again almost turned around. These fights have been insane all series long.
What a fight this was. Immortals not done yet though. Moving up the mid lane to try and get inhibitor turret number 2 with the Baron buff.
You know they have to do something now. They're going to look for a play, but Immortals just going to dive them, I think. Darshan already used the teleport. Ulti from Afram is pretty good there on the Brawl, but they're just going to take the turret down. Huni getting a little too low, does ulti out to safety. Pobelta taking in the front lines and the turret. Does fall to Immortals. Stixay lining it up, but he needs to shoot someone down. Right over, running interference in the front line, but Hui does take him down. Now Stixay, you try to turn it around. Xfinity, absolutely massive knock-up. Turtle's going to go down, and CLG flip it again.
Immortals dare to reach too far there into the CLG base. They claim 4, and they're running it back up mid lane. How many turrets can they take?
I don't think they'll be able to end the game. There's 40 seconds as well. They have so many to
turrets?
do.
No.
I know. I'm just tempering expectations. Tempering expectations.
There's one.
Yeah.
CLG going to move in for a second. Darshan happy to face tank this. Mina's going to join in. Huni back here to threaten. The answer may just be 2 here. CLG do get 2 down the mid. Do they keep going? In fact, they're going to split up. Guhi and Xmithy going to work together, and this will be 3. CLG doing big damage to Immortals. Still going. These death times are long.
And that Matthias Soul Stealer, he was sitting on a Dark Seal that had 10 stacks already. Hasn't died yet for Huni.
I love it when you raise the stakes like that. Now we've got the Medjais in the game as well. Back to this fight though. Let's take a look at this extension because Huni goes back in and it takes multiple snares from CLG under turret while Immortals are tanking that turret damage. Huni gets locked up. There's going to be for him. And he ults right back out, but then they exchange front people here.
Yeah, and it takes so much damage onto Huni, but Pobelter only got one person with his Hemo Plague. It was the engage there from Rainover, and Afromu able to actually block a little bit of it, but then the re-engage, the flash knock-up from Xmithy, and the only person who survives is Huni, because his stacks. Gotta keep him safe.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about this comp, right? They don't have very much wave clear, but if you get to the point where you're losing the fight, it's so hard to disengage from Jin, Kassadin, Braum, and then Smithy goes in with the flash to secure the re-engage there for CLG. And they do get some back. I have to say, though, regardless of that, Immortal's still in control of this game, and they're looking to press it.
Well, if you like race stakes, Kobe, Elder Dragon is now alive, and Barrett's up in a minute 35, so everything's on the line, and Immortals have actually straight up started it already.
Yeah, and Huni in the base, waiting for a TP home guard play here, and Stixay off on the side. He's still trying to walk towards this fight, and Darshan as well. But here comes the TP. It's on top of where Stixay
Oh,
is.
Stixay, it's not a good spot to be standing, but Huni does not
He's just
chase
buying
in.
time. The Dragon's going to go down.
Immortals are actually still doing it here. Stixay opens up with the ultimate. Immortals needs to move back in. Who's in the backline? He actually chunks one out. Rainover getting low, reads the crit there. As Xmithy takes him down. CLG trying to keep fighting into who he's going ballistic as he pops the Zonyas. Pobelta, the only one left. He takes out the Kassadin.
Oh,
Stixay has done it. Stixay get down with Pobelta. Gonna flip it all around. Huni now diving in onto Darshan as he's gonna get chased out of Pobelta. There's the triple kill. Darshan now gonna get locked up, and Immortals win a very scrappy fight.
These are so intense with both of them. Darshan's going to teleport out.
They're already cutting him off, though. He's not going to make it out of this, even if he accepts it.
Maybe not going to make it as well. In fact, Pobelta and Adrian want more. They're going to try and push the minions down to the bottom line.
Is he trying to delay back so they can get up to the second inhibitor here? There is an exposed inhibitor that Immortals could go after in the mid lane if they transition up. But
If you think about the wave clear, though, they might try to end the game right here, but Darshan...
He's got to run interference. He pops the refuge. Pobelta, though, still doing a little too much work. Turtle now laying in the damage. And Xmithy disrupts 2 there with a knockup, but he doesn't have anything. He shreds as Immortals are able to take him down. Pobelta gets himself another. Darshan chasing in the GA's pop, and Immortals, I think that's enough.
Well, 3 seconds on Huhi, though. He's about to be back up.
They're trying to buy time for those reanimations as Hui's back up.
This game's getting silly as Hui's now back up. Pobelta keeps moving his way back in. Shields there from Adrian, keep him safe. Pobelta feeling Immortal this game.
Thinking through this call to try and cut the minions because it's very, very risky. You're pretty much putting yourself out there just to get killed. Now, if you wait and fight under the Nexus turrets, and you try and use your taunt and something like that to force them off the Nexus turrets, then maybe you delay that way as well. Regardless, Immortals get some extra kills off of it. They also return back and finally do claim that Elder Dragon.
It's a 3-stack as well for themselves. Those 3 previous Drakes they had picked up. A lot of burn here, and with an Ezreal and the poke that they have, it's going to be very meaningful.
2 minutes now. CLG have to play some pretty immaculate defense, or Immortals going to run straight through the base.
And Baron is what they're going to try to look for to help them run through the base. Right on it.
I think this is contestable.
Xmithy's on the other side, though. Xmithy has a place where he's out of vision.
Still,
He's trying to go for it!
How could I? Oh my God! Xmithy steals it for Immortals.
And they got Bowler!
CLG, the medicine. What? Doctor looks up to in the back line. Huni melts there as Immortals. What? Are you kidding me? CLG are going to take the team fight, and now they're having Baron, but they can run it through after.
And Reignover's trying to buy time. He's trying to cut the minion wave so that they can't push up. They have super minions down here. It's going to be a little bit harder to push than they want, but Darshan is so tanky. If CLG put their minds to it, maybe they can still accomplish it.
They're looking to at least claim Reignover's life here as they close in on him. 6-8 doesn't hit the snare, though.
Reignover's just buying time. Hooney's backing base safe as well. Reignover, I think, is going to die here still, but he's bought plenty of time.
Yeah, exactly. 20 seconds on Pobelter, and CLG aren't going to be able to push a turret off of this just yet. They might be able to get that bottom, but that buys time, and we're going to get another fight, gentlemen.
What a back and forth series here. Everyone thought it was going to be a landslide with CLG being underdogs, and Immortals going to show back up in the third place match, just like in spring when they righted the ship and they easily dispatched. But CLG pushing up on the turret. They're going to use that Baron buff and get some more gold.
I apologize for ever doubting CLG's late game, even if I think that the comp may have slightly favored Immortals, because CLG going to knock down another turret. Immortals still with, I think, maybe 1 or 2 with the Elder Dragon buff, but they're going to break straight through bottom lane here. Immortals, they're not back up. Reignover still down for 25.
Yeah, with that Lich Bane, they just shred through these structures, and they get that inhibitor so quickly, they're able to just back off.
Have to get out though. Hooney going to try and chase. He's very sticky.
You never just back off against the Immortals, I guess. Hooney looking to keep him around, but they are going to do just that.
Let's see this. Pobelter ends up getting picked off here at the very beginning of the fight. Let's look very closely at how that happened, because it's such a good entrance here for Big Xmithy. Really saved this right here. Pobelter, okay, what happens? 490 gets shot there, down, knocked up, blown up. He jumps in and gets his full combo on him, and Aphromoo had knocked him up at the same time with the Braum ultimate, and it's clean up from there.
They were able to stun lock. He didn't get off any of the healing, didn't get off the Zhonya's. Actually, I didn't check the timer on the Zhonya's. Might have been down from that previous team fight, if we'll go back and look at that replay. Regardless, though, what an intense game. Now, both teams down an inhibitor. Baron buff barely about to time out here for CLG.
Yeah, you're right, he still had it up, Kobe.
Okay.
48 minutes now, almost on the clock. As this game has gone late. The gold is still very close, but sadly irrelevant at this stage of the game. It's all execution when we get this late.
And we have seen CLG, MSI, gold deficits at this point in the game against Team Liquid, even at the Elder Dragon, coming back from a deficit of 10,000 gold. They are even right now, and they're going to try to prove that they have the team fight and get themselves one step closer to Worlds.
Meanwhile, Immortals looking for redemption again for a second split in a row. They don't want to stop here. They want that third place.
This is just insane. Like, this is game 3, the closest game we've had, incredibly tense. This determines almost everything for the rest of the series.
Immortals definitely need these championship points too. This is very important to them.
Well, CLG gonna try and maybe play spoiler with an incredible Baron steal from him. Borders are peeking around, trying to find a flank. They may have caught Hooney. Hooney maybe have caught them. Darshan moving back in. 6 of open fire. Pobelter, he's the man they need to kill. Hooney moving back in, but Pobelter pops us on his Immortals. Still chasing in. Is Hooney gonna go down? Maybe Hooney chases him down. Immortals. Maybe it's started Xmithy. Gonna get blown up here in the front lines, and CLG must retreat.
Yep, he is down. They have to get out of there. Xmithy also going to follow him shortly after the GA, and Hooney's still chasing him off.
And Pobelter didn't go down there. They tried to focus everything into him because it worked last time, but he ends up getting off his Zhonya's and an 1800 heal.
Oh, look at this. They just used the sweeper on the side of the screen here. CLG lying in wait. They're looking at any opportunity to catch Immortals by surprise because they know now they're down in numbers and their base is wide open.
Jixay needs to have one real big play if they're going to maybe hold this here. Immortals, I think, can push in to try and end. The death time is counting down relatively quickly. It's Smithy and Who will be back to reinforce in a second, and Immortals do have to chew through this inhibitor first.
It might just be a double inhibitor take for Immortals. Let's see if they decide to try for Nexus or take the second one.
They already have one Nexus turret down from previous.
Yeah.
They have a little bit of time here.
Darshan is so tanky. He's actually just buying as much time as he needs to here. He's still running interference, but Immortal's going to go for it here.
Apple's trying to block the turret from Wild Turtle.
Nick say, no, that's not where you want to be. Rainover knocks him back here, but there's no one there to collect it. He has to go into the game. Adrian getting himself an Immortals. Going to look to end it. Wild Turtle finding his way around. And Immortals, they get it in 3.
That size says it all. Immortals claim victory, but whoa, it was intense. Very close there.
Bold call as well. Muscle it down. They won the previous fight, and that's what it came down to. 50-minute game.
Neither team has backed down from any calls all series long.
Man, talk about momentum killers. Immortal's going to feel on top of the world after clutching out that game. Turtle, in his home country, comes up clutch to push them up 2-1 in the series, but we are very far from done here. CLG with seconds away from taking that game.
And CLG, despite not winning this match, have still shown this is a damn series right now. This is game 3, you know, even the entire time. Comes down to team fight execution. Huhi actually playing a little bit out of his mind in that game, and honestly, Cooney didn't die the entire time.
I mean, I just want to list everybody's name off.
Yeah,
Belter, this Vladimir has been so huge for them as well. Whew.
Well, we need to catch up.
Keep it going.
Good game.
More.
So let's pass it back to Ruben to pronounce that highlight.
Thank you very much, guys. Great cast so far, and great play from both teams. It's absolutely amazing to see what's already come out on the rim here in the Air Canada Center, and it's only going to get better. Now, Immortals moves on to game point, but look at this game. Again, for picks and bans, we saw Immortals go to red side, try to get their S-tier picks, and then everything started off slow again.
I mean, listen, we have a whole lot of data here on this game, and none of it has been useful. This game is so crazy. I can't believe how many calls are happening, how many things are happening back and forth. It's just so much to handle, and it's so aggressive, but there are instances where we'd like to see the teams go for a little bit more of a finesse, but regardless, it's just so exciting to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I can't stand still when I'm watching the games. I'm just like...
We were all just freaking out. There's like 10 different times that it seemed like the game was over, and it's just play after play after play. These guys are never stepping back from it, and Mortals Link's the last one. They get the win, but it was a hell of a game.
Absolutely crazy. You want to jump right into the replays in this. The 840 dive in the bot lane. You see the Castle coming out. I'm sure that was questioned in picks bans, but CLG is already trying to start things off in a game they want to scale.
And this is exactly what CLG needs to be doing. Their comp is so good at diving bot lanes with the Shen ult coming in, the Castellan roams, the Rek'Sai roams. They have so much mobility to get to places on the map. They should keep doing this. And I think it was a massive mistake from CLG to put their bot lane mid and keep it there for so long. They can go top and do the same kind of play over and over, which is what you see teams generally do, but it seemed like they got caught up on the fact they have a Castellan and a 1-3-1.
The best part about that play they made is that they had double TPs and they didn't use them. That means that they can make that repeat play even without the Shen ulti over and over again, because you can easily get that priority mid lane, just give Cassidy and blue buff, make the play happen. But we never saw that happen again. It was only a one-time deal. It worked so well, why not return to it?
Yeah, we saw it actually kind of flood over into CLG feeling like they were very strong. 19 minutes in, there was a Dragon 4-for-1. And that lane split team all grouped up to fight.
And I mean, we saw what it looks like when it goes right, and now we can see what it looks like when it doesn't go so hot. And I mean, you know, Huhi pushing him out, now they just have to disengage, right? This is fine. Sure, you have to pull the flash, but they turn around. Smithy, I don't even know if he actually meant to tunnel back in here. Looked like a bit of a misclick to me, but he goes in, they re-engage, and still at this point, maybe you can still get out. But then Huhi goes back in, and look on the left side of the screen, as Stixxay's not able to get involved whatsoever. Their AD carry is not in the fight. They're just getting so split up, and this was a very bad fight from CLG.
And even before the fight started, CLG has priority in the top lane. He would have to burn his ultimate or TP to go topside. So if you just back off the play, you have priority. You can get either the top turret or a free dragon. Regardless, it's the same mistake we saw happen in the previous matches, where they have an objective lined up, and instead of just taking it and backing off, they keep pushing for more, and they get punished over and over.
It's just too bloody. Like, you can just back off there, Shen gets the top turret, it's great, you get a gold lead. Instead, they just keep pushing for more, and it's so hard for their comp to really pin down a very mobile comp in what Mortals has. Flag getaway, Echo's getaway, Ezreal, Karma. Everything is very quick. Gragas to an extent. Like, it's so hard to just pick a fight in the middle of the jungle, even though you would think a Cassidy would be good at it.
And I think part of it is honestly just nerves, right? You're playing in front of a massive crowd.
Or hype.
Well, it's that too, right? And the adrenaline sometimes gets the best of you. You're like, oh, we can make it happen. We can do it. But sometimes you can't.
And
You can't there.
it's even kind of hit on, we see Immortal strategy as they go into the mid game. When they felt like they were ahead, we'd see Rainover going for a few plays that the team wasn't fully behind. And that's not really kind of loss of word, kind of how they act, their course of action throughout that. They're always behind each other, good call or bad.
I think the weird thing for me this series is Rainover. He's playing pretty sloppy overall. That first blood that he gave up on the bot side, he could have just protected Karma to get away, and then they'd have some summoner advantage. And instead, he goes for a flash body slam that gets turned on him. He missed a number of flash body slams throughout this game, and his engages have not been clean at all.
Well, the one who has been clean is Huni, though. Holy, he is going off. He's taking over the backline completely, singling out Stixxay time and time again, and just doing so much work for Immortals that when they're playing against the Jhin, it's so hard for CLG's composition to realize what's going on with the Jhin. And we saw it towards that later fight in Afromu, peeling for Stixxay. But the second he left him, immediately, Jin's dead, fight's lost.
And we see that kind of flow over to the team. Pole Belter then flashing forward, Tides of Blood, picking up double kills, triple kills. And Immortals then feel like they have enough control of the game. And we go to a 45-minute Baron, where it seems like things get a little bit messy because Xmithie wasn't the focus this time.
Right, he's able to get this kill, or the Dragon Baron steal, and what this does is it kind of makes the front line really awkward, where Pobelter's just isolated here and gets instantly blown up by the Braum ultimate, followed by the Castlin damage, and once your main kind of threat is down, it's so easy to run through the rest of this fight, and it looked like this should be potentially a game-ending fight, but Rainover does a really good job messing with the minion waves so that CLG can't really end the game at all, and then they have to kill him, and it just stalls out, so they only get a bottom inhib off that.
And I mean, so much credit, though, to Xmithie for making that steal, because they had Elder
Absolutely.
at this point. You know, Immortals were looking like they were about to lock up the game. They take Elder. If they get Baron, they end the game, right? Xmithie steals it. He's done it time and time again for the team. And MSI came up with so many big steals, and it seems to just be he's always
I think Xmithie versus Rainover has been one of the biggest surprises of this matchup, where Xmithie is kind of dominating him in a number of ways, where his early game pressure has been a lot better. He's snowballed the bot lane a couple times, and once again, he's been on top of the objectives.
And I think while Huhi has been having a pretty solid series so far, there's a